The state of Florida is commonly known for its amazing beach life, from the Atlantic coast to the Gulf and all the way to the Panhandle. With that being said, in this video I wanted to talk about not a whole list of them, but actually the #1 overall option. I hope you enjoy this deep dive and cinematic format. Siesta Key Beach, Florida is commonly known as one of the top overall destinations in the entire United States, has been often ranked #1 overall individually for Florida cities as well as the United States as a whole in many previous years. This island is particular, really near and dear to my heart, not just because I live in the area. This is actually where I grew up. My parents still live on the island to this day. It's a very special and eclectic place. In this video, I wanted to give you my insight on a deep dive breakdown style of geography and location. I want to talk about the lifestyle as a whole, including the things to do. I wanted to talk about the housing market and what's going on there in the past year or so, and just give you an overall really nice experience of the island while we do it. Hey guys, we have moved on to the Siesta Key Wine Bar in the middle of the main village district. Actually, the owner is Tom Ilg. If you've run into him, he is a partner with us, so you may even see him when you're in town for real estate. But basically, the island of Siesta Key is a barrier island located off the southwest coast of Florida. It's between Roberts Bay and the Gulf of Mexico, and it's below downtown Sarasota, just west of the mainland. A portion of the island does lie within the Sarasota city limits, but the majority is in the census district of the county. So this puts you basically in the Sarasota, Venice, Bradenton metro. And if you're familiar with how the islands run north to south, locationally you go from Anna Maria Island up here, and then you go from Longboat Key here to Lido, and then Siesta Key is below that with a gap of water, and then you go to Casey Key, Nokomis, Venice, and work your way down to Englewood, Manasota Key. Just pure size-wise, you have about 3.5 square miles within the island, 2.4 of those being land, 1.1 of those being water, and what you have is about north to south 8 miles end to end. And finally, I would categorize the island in 3 different parts, including 2 bridges. So you have the north side of the island, which is what everybody thinks of, the main Siesta Key Beach, the middle of the, and then a north bridge to downtown. The middle of the island is gonna be your Crescent area with the Stickney Point Bridge, and then all the way at the south end, you're gonna have Turtle Beach. Okay, now let's get into the sexier parts of this video, and that is a things to do and a lifestyle perspective. So the barrier island of Siesta Key is made up of 3 main sections. We're gonna start off with the pinnacle, and which most people would deem synonymous with this key, and that is the north end. The north end is made up of 2 main facets. That's the main Siesta Key Beach and the Siesta Key Village. The main and popular Siesta Key Beach is made up of a few key facets. One of those facets is the quartz sugary white sand. We got a little bit of muck here from the rain, but this is sand that is basically like sugar. There's an old wife tale about quartz that came down from the Appalachian Mountains, and what's cool about this is the hottest of days, it's 9:30 in the morning, it's already kind of hot, but it's cool to the touch, which is very, very unique, very, very pleasant on your feet. Another thing they've done over the island since I was in high school over the last 10, 15 years or so is the way this beach is shaped is its main congregation in one area. So there's several different little tiny accesses, but mainly people congregate at the main parking lot, which they've expanded. It's large. And what you have here is it's a long walk, as you can see, from parking lot to the water. Kind of like your Treasure Island in St. Pete. So what that creates is it creates people that stack in rows, north to south, and then a lot of people congregate a little further down this way, which is where all the main lifeguard stands are. And it's kind of that's what creates kind of a party social environment, if that's your thing. Another benefit of this main area is also there is a playground, multiple playgrounds, there is a concession stand, there is public restrooms, you have all the picnic tables, all this kind of stuff that a more docile beach may not have. And finally, if that's not enough for you, this beach has been popular for a long time, and you have some cool things like the drum circle, if you've ever done that. So a night activity where people congregate here and they dance around a drum circle. It's kind of hippie-ish and all that kind of stuff. But overall, Siesta Key, this is where I grew up on the island. My parents still live here. Is a very, very pleasant place if you like a social hopping type of environment. Okay, the second main part of the north side of the island that's important is the Siesta Village. This is the main shopping district on the entire island. It's your typical boutiques, your restaurants, your cafes, your coffee, and all of it sits just north of the main beach. Hey guys, quick interruption. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the Sarasota Relocation Guide. If you need anything from us, please reach out. My information will be here. Description box below, hop around with timestamps. Hope you enjoy the content, and please subscribe if you do. Thank you. Okay, to give you a little bit more of a feel of the island, I wanted to point out some of the main notables, in my opinion, on the island. You have the Beach Club, nighttime venue. You have the Hub, which is Mexican. You have the Cottage down there, little drinking spot. You have the Broken Egg over here, Dick Vitale's main spot. You have the Lobster Pot, which is great for dinner. You have a shark hanging from the air. As we walk further down the main strip, main staple of Sarasota in general is Big Olaf. A lot of those across town. There's one in Lakewood Ranch. There's one in Pinecraft, which is kind of Mennonite Amish land. So a little random insider here from my life. This used to be a 7-Eleven when I was growing up. I used to loiter there a lot and drink Slurpees. I filmed my first video in high school there, school project, and now it sells sandals only. Don't know how it's surviving, but it's doing good. Another good spot, real local spot, is Scob, which is Siesta Key Oyster Bar. Real kind of beach feeling place, but the food actually is really solid. All right, so as we work our way down the island, another main staple of this area is the daiquiri deck. This is the original. There's another one on the south end by Crescent Beach. There's one on St. Armands. There's one in Venice Island. And then Gilligan's across the street is a great spot. Little cafe right there. There's a surf shop down here, pizza. And then basically if you look that way, that's the first beach access for Siesta Key. And then you go a little bit around the corner and you get the main beach parking lot. All right, the second part of the island that's important to note is the Central District. And that is gonna be the Crescent Beach area. So the Crescent Beach area is located right in the center, but it's by the South Bridge. There's two bridges on the island. Stickney Point, which is right over here, is the South Bridge. And this beach is, a lot of people haven't even gone to it if you've come to Siesta Key on vacation. This beach is basically an enclave. It's very private. It's probably the best place if you had condo or hotel access, because as you can see here, this is one of the parking lots. It is these little nooks. If you didn't know where to look, you would never see it. And albeit it is way more private, you are gonna have some of those things. So if you just want easy access like Lido or Siesta, just go to the big parking lot. But this would be your way to get away from some people, and it's kind of an interesting option. I like the private stuff the older I get. I have young kids. So Crescent Beach is a fantastic option with the quality of sand, the quality of beach, but a little bit more private. So people do always think of the main Siesta Key Beach, but Crescent Beach in many recent years has actually been ranked the whitest, finest sand beach in the entire world at certain points. Very, very nice, very pleasant. You're gonna see all kinds of outdoor stuff here. People come here again to get away from some more people. So you'll see kayaking, you'll see frisbees, you'll see boogie boarding, you'll see canoeing, you'll see snorkeling, all kinds of stuff. It's a great spot for that. Important to note with the private piece of it, you're gonna have no public facilities, you're gonna have no lifeguard stands or lifeguards manning any station. You will have no amenities, so that's something to be cognizant of if you have children. And again, this beach in my mind caters much more to, you see these rows of condominiums and that. It's probably more well-oriented if you're staying on the beach and coming right off in a walking distance versus the parking situation. And finally, if you are really into snorkeling or that kind of thing and you're looking for a great spot to do it with that really protected looking water, then the south end of Crescent Beach is actually where Point of Rocks is located, which is a fantastic area for this kind of wildlife. Okay, so the other element of the Crescent Beach area is going to be our second village on the island, and that's going to be the Crescent shopping area. Albeit not the same as Siesta Key Village in the way you think, but it kind of has its own eclectic little feel on its own. I mean, you have bikes, you have Orange Octopus ice cream is popular. Captain Kurtz is right here. Over here is the Stickney Point Bridge. So that's the the second bridge on the island, the South Bridge that will take you to Gulf Gate and South Sarasota. Yeah, you have Captain Kurt's gift shops, tiki trading, typical tourist type of shops, but it does give you another element in a more private base setting. Okay, our third and final section of the barrier island of Siesta Key and the southernmost tip, Turtle Beach. Let's check her out. Okay, so Turtle Beach in the scheme of Siesta Key and Sarasota is definitely gonna be your way more low-key alternative. Those other two beaches are gonna be Siesta Key is your congregation, Crescent is popular because it's more private and it's near Siesta Key, so people are keen on it. And this one is gonna be way more laid back. So this is where we'll bring our kid a lot of times and that kind of thing, but you do have some potential drawbacks. So you can see kind of how quaint it feels, how few people are here versus just down the street. But you're gonna have coarser sand, so literally 2-3 miles from our world's finest, whitest sand. You're gonna have coarser sand, you're gonna have shells, you're gonna have a relatively steep drop off here. So there's some drawbacks there. You're not gonna have amenities and all that kind of stuff too, but I think it's kind of a nice alternative. If you like to fish, if you want some private paddle boarding, that kind of thing, you can kind of see the advantage to being here. You can leave all your stuff spread out and you just don't have as many people coming down here because of what they view as a negative or they have no idea it even exists. And you're not completely in desolation. This is way more residential. Like you can see no condo buildings pretty much. It's very different. But there's some restaurants across the street. There's a marina across the street. So you do have a little bit of it, but to me, this is way more of a tropical, residential feeling side of the island.
Okay, now I want to get a little deeper and talk housing. So the way I'm going to roll this out is I built a model. I'm going to show you here via screen share. That'll be a little bit more helpful. I'm going to give that away to everyone watching for absolute free. So I'm going to, for this video purpose, so I don't bore you to death, I'm going to overview the highlights, show you how the model works a little bit and how it functions, and then we'll move on. All right, so what Siesta Key had in the last 12 months, as the model was August to August, what they had is a 938 total sales. And the way that was broken down, as you can see here, if you click single family, the way that was broken down was 325 of those 900 plus were single family residences, which is only about 35%, which leaves you to the inverse of 65% of being the balance. And if you hold control and click something here, you can unselect. So 613 was condominiums, it was townhomes, it was condo hotels, it was villas, it was the rest, and that would be very common for a beach like this. The way you broke down pricing was the sold average was $1.1 million over the last 12 months across the board. And that puts you at $535 a square feet, which is a little higher than an inland, but still a pretty reasonable average for a beach around the Gulf Coast of this popularity. And then what you can do too is you can there was actually kind of an even spread of price buckets. So you can hop to select this. I just want to see 500 to 750 and see how many of the sales of the 900 plus was 228. I just want to see 350 to 500, 189. You can do the 1 million to 2 million and kind of see how many of the properties were. And then another cool thing, and then again, I have square footage, I have beds, I have baths, I have the year built, and I have the annual taxes according to public record, and that can include CDD. And then one thing to look at here is the way I have this one, if you're not familiar with Excel, it's built like a really user-friendly tool, but the way that I have this built is that it's sorted by development. So you can see this is sorted by the most sales in a single development, and then if you want, and you can, it changes by price range and all this kind of stuff, right? So you can kind of see where these will cluster, which is important because if you're doing a resale search on the beach and there's nothing available in inventory, this will tell you where they should be most likely if you look at it the right way. I think it's interesting. And if you want to get even deeper than that, you can double click on any of these numbers and it will pull the source data on a single tab behind all of them. It'll tell you the address, it'll tell you the MLS listing, it'll tell you everything, the individual price, the year built. So you can really get as deep as you want in here or as light as you want depending on what you want to run with. So I hope you found that useful. My link, my description box below has a single link that you can click that says all my statistical tools. I trade you for an email, even if I already have it. It'll give you the download to every tool that I've built in the past probably 6 months or so, instant download on Google Drive. Download it from there. So I hope you guys found that useful, and let's hop to the next section.
All right, guys, that does it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. We're very grateful for every one of you. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Please check out the description box below. Downloadable guides, relocation guides, statistical analysis, all that kind of stuff for absolutely free. If you need anything from us at all, please reach out to my team right here, and we'll see you on the next one.